Hey y'all, what's up? MJ here. So today I figured we'd take a look at this channel called Atlanta Street Interviews. Shouts out to the ATL, my favorite city for many reasons. But Atlanta Street Interviews, y'all check out the channel. They do these interviews with homeless people, both men and women. And what inspired me to do this is because I noticed a lot of Manosphere content creators have been reacting to these interviews, and the comment section is just, oh, it blows my mind. And I am going to insert some screenshots of some of those comments. They are very, what's the word I should use? Cruel. And so with the Manosphere, we do realize, or at least I realize, a lot of them seem like incels, mean-spirited men, hateful men. They love to see women doing poorly. And one thing I recognize about the Manosphere, they will find content, media, whatever they can to align with their abusive talking points, their ridiculous talking points. Basically, Kevin Samuels likes to say that women are going to be homeless because they're unmarried, they don't have skills, yada, yada, yada. So they're using this now, homeless women, people that are down and out, to align with why they should choose these men. This is just absurd. It is asinine. But we're going to go ahead and get into that today. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm curious to know what y'all think about this. So we, of course, going to keep the discussion going. I do want to say, before I get into it, I live in the city. I am a modern woman according to Manosphere talking points. So you're going to hear construction. It is what it is. But hopefully that will not distract us from just gleaning what we can from this content. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. So how old are you?
I'm 31.
31. Are you homeless?
As of right now, yes.
Okay. And so what would you say has brought you to this point of being homeless in your life?
During the pandemic, people getting laid off and everything. So it's like, before the pandemic, I was living good, making sure, just making sure that my house was good and everything. But during the pandemic, it just threw everybody off because everybody's losing their jobs. And then they said that they have rent forgiveness, but they don't. They don't have rent forgiveness. And now
Okay, so already she lets us know that she's 31. She lost her job in the pandemic. Pandemic started in 2020. So we know the Manosphere would consider 31-year-old woman hit the wall as if getting older is not a biological function. Like if you're not deceased, you're going to get older. She looks to be an attractive woman. But let's continue.
you see all my brothers and sisters, I call my brothers and sisters, all the village people out here.
Okay. Hold on real quick. All right. Technical difficulties, but all right, we're back. So, all right. So let me just, let me put a pin in it right there. So you say you're 31. So again, you basically said that the pandemic got you into a situation where you basically couldn't pay your rent and you got kicked out. How long have you been without a roof over your head?
It's been a whole month.
Okay. So it's been a month. So.
And I do want to mention with Atlanta, the great thing about Atlanta, like I said, one of my favorite cities, shouts out to ATL, is that it is a major city. It's in the deep south, a major city. So you can get that major city living without the cost of, say, Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York or DC, but you still have the major city vibes. I love it. It's my favorite city, like I said, for many reasons. So I can understand why a lot of people like to move to Atlanta. But with that being said, we know that gentrification is a thing. I remember when, if you know where the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is today, it was hood, okay? Georgia Tech, a lot of the areas was hood. Because of gentrification, the city is just exploding, like new homes everywhere, new apartments everywhere. Look where they put the Braves Stadium. I think Truist Park in Cobb County. That's a whole nother story, but whatever. And then, of course, we see rental prices increasing all over the country. So it's not just in Atlanta, it's all over the country. And I know there was a rent moratorium during some point of the pandemic, but now they have stopped that. So, the landlords want their money. So, you do have to pay your rent, but let's continue.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Rhode Island.
Okay, from Rhode Island. Shout out Rhode Island. And so, growing up, did you have both your mother and your father in the household?
I would say my dad was the backbone of the household, old school type of way. Really like a backbone. Basically, make sure the household was good. But me and my siblings, we have different nations of mothers and fathers. So me and my sister has the same dad, and me and my brother has the same mom. But I'm the oldest out of all.
I get it.
Yeah, but growing up, they made sure, in a collective type of way, they made sure that we was good. We had good knowledge. Make sure that we read books and everything.
Okay. And so, growing up, you would say that you had a fairly normal childhood.
It was weird, but fairly normal.
What was weird about it?
Weird about it is when all the parents came together. When anybody got in trouble at school, it's not just one parent showing up; it's all of them showing up. Like who did it this time? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it?
Well, I mean, that sounds pretty cool, actually, man. It sounds like a village mentality.
It was a village mentality.
Okay.
Now, y'all know that the Manosphere would say with this woman and her siblings having different dads, that that's dysfunctional. Talk about the mother being on the cock carousel. You know what they would say. But that's just her family. She can't control the actions of her parents. No child can. But the Manosphere likes to blame mothers for the fathers not raising their children, not being in the lives of their children. I don't agree with that because there's court for a reason. So there's family court. You can fight for custody of your children, fight to see your children. These men act like they just can't do anything. But let's continue.
So, you went to high school. Did you graduate high school?
I graduated high school. I went to Morris Brown and I went to Westwood.
Okay. Did you graduate Morris Brown?
No, because of the accreditations. Back in 2008 and 2009, they lost the accreditations, and there was only maybe 50 kids left there.
So, did you graduate from Westwood?
No, because they lost their accreditation. We got transferred to Morris Brown. All the kids that was going to Morris Brown got transferred to Westwood. Then not even 6 months later, they lost their accreditation too.
Okay. So,
and I don't know if y'all recall, but Morris Brown College, or HBCU in Atlanta, or the AU Center lost its accreditation due to like student aid fraud. They were applying for loans or some student programs for students. It was really messed up what they were doing. So that was sad. And I think the school is still closed to this day.
I'm going to put a pin in that right there. So, do you have any kids?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
No. Not officially on paper.
Why the hesitation?
It's because I was supposed to marry somebody named Timon, and he got shot on his birthday.
Sorry to hear about that.
And with her mentioning her former fiance that lost his life, I think his name was Timon. I'm sure they would say he's a Pookie and Ray Ray. They don't know this man. They'd say that he's a Pookie or Ray Ray, but I'm sure they would say that she's distraught over this Pookie and Ray Ray losing his life. But let's continue.
How long had y'all been dating?
We grew up together. He was my best friend.
How long ago did that happen?
About 5 years ago.
Okay. Like I say,
and you see this woman's eyes, even though it's been 5 years, the pain still really impacts her today. And it does hurt when you lose somebody you love. It's the worst, honestly. I don't think any pain can even touch that. It hurts so much. But of course, they'll make fun of this woman losing her long friend, childhood friend, the love of her life.
My condolences for that. And so, what were you doing, kind of in between the ages of 22 and, a month ago?
Between 22 and a month ago. Okay, let's go down the timeline. I was working at the radio station on night shift.
What radio station?
I was 7.9 on night shift.
You was working at High 107.9 here in Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, what were you doing there?
I was a promoter. Back in the day, we would hand out CDs and hand out, T-shirts and stuff like that.
Was you an intern or was you
I was more
did you work there as an employee?
I worked there as an intern.
Okay.
And then a year later, I started to get paid. But I missed that job. I used to work for DJ Chameleon and DJ Scream. I was working for Little Rich Entertainment.
So,
and just to insert a fun fact, Hot 107.9 is where Ludacris got his start. He used to be known as Chris Lover on that station. Him and Poon Daddy used to come on from 6 to 10, I think Monday through Saturday. And even Lala was on there. If y'all know Carmelo Anthony, I think they're separated, divorced. So her working in radio, you can have a career in radio, TV, So she seemed like she had a fulfilling career. That's great, but we know sometimes jobs let you go, things of that nature, and you got to be able to bounce back.
We get to this point. You were working at the radio station. What was the job that you had right before the pandemic hit?
I used to be a construction worker. I got my credentials. Right?
You don't have to show your credentials, but you was working construction, and so the pandemic hit, and that caused you to stop working.
They sent everybody home because.
Okay. And so, would you get unemployment for a little while and all like that?
I got unemployment for maybe 2 months, and then the credentials got cut off by the company. I was working for Baskin and Cook.
Okay, and so what have you been doing for income since then?
Just small jobs, working at McDonald's, here and there. I was trying to pay rent because it was a grease fire. It was on the news. This happened like back in December. It was on the news to where the McDonald's, because of the grease fire, somebody left the grease on when we closed down, and by that morning, it was already burnt up.
Okay. Has there any been?
And that's really sad. So we're seeing that this woman has lost the love of her life. Morris Brown, her university, they were scamming students, closed down. They transferred her school. I can't remember out Westwood, but that school closed down, so she didn't get her degree. Then she worked for Hot 107. That fell through. Worked construction. Pandemic hit. Then she lost her job. And I know people, like, even if you were building new construction homes during like the peak of the pandemic, there was a lot of delay because of the pandemic. So I do believe she's telling the truth. The McDonald's, I don't know, probably. I could see that. I know Krispy Kreme burnt down, the one that was on Ponce, and that was like a staple, Atlanta staple, and that's so sad. So we can see this woman has had a lot of hardship in her life. She's just 31, right? Life just been kind of beating her up. So I feel for her, and I wish I knew how to get in contact with her, because I know a place that she could work. But she is educated. She didn't finish college, but still she has work experience. So I'm sure she will be able to get employment there. But let's continue.
Has there ever been any history of drug abuse?
No.
Okay, what about mental health?
Yes.
What mental health?
I didn't get my mental health situation when everything started happening last year. When my grandfather died, my grandma died, my uncle died. I started going to counseling. It's actually right down the street to Grady. It's 10 Park Place. It's right down the street. And the reason why I went is because I became depressed a couple of months ago, which is last year.
Were you diagnosed with anything?
I was diagnosed with depression.
Were you put on any medications for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was. Because it came to a point where I couldn't sleep for 2 days in a row, and then crashed on the 3rd day and kept doing the same thing. I'm like, you know what? I need to go get some help. So I went to go get some help.
Okay.
So we see that this woman is crippled by depression. She lost her grandparents, some other relatives, which I know a lot of us, I don't know anyone that hasn't lost at least one loved one, friend during the pandemic. So she's just had a lot of losses. So can we see why this woman's depressed? Who wouldn't be depressed, experience that loss? I know my grandmother has been deceased. It's been close to 12 years. I think about my grandmother every day. I miss her dearly. She was the most amazing woman to me. So I can't imagine having all these losses back to back to back to back to back. That will cripple anyone. And one thing I know about life, you got to have a strong bounce back game. Like, I like how I read this book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers. And basically she says, even if you're afraid, you got to be able to take risks and try things. Like, so in her situation, she done been through a lot. But baby girl, you got to get up. You got to take charge of your life. And you got to just live your best life while you're here. But sometimes you do have to honor the season that you're in. That's very painful to lose people, especially like during the pandemic. Who knows if it was pandemic related? It's just so much going on. And I find the Manosphere's use of this content so wrong, because I think there's a scripture that said it rains on the just and unjust, meaning we're all going to experience hardships. We're all going to lose people we love. Why are you making fun of that? How is that freaking funny? On what planet is it funny to see somebody homeless? Again, I'm going to be inserting screenshots of some of the most egregious comments I've seen, so y'all can see what these men are saying. These men are taking pleasure and delight in women being homeless. Some of these women on this channel have children, and they're happy about people being homeless. These women being homeless. I just find these people to be so repulsive and disgusting. Words really can't express how disgusting these men are to be using this content to just spew, oh yeah, that's right, Kevin Samuel said they was going to be homeless. He was right. Godfather was right. But let's continue, y'all. And thank you for still being with me. Let's continue.
And so, are you in a relationship right now?
No.
Okay, when's the last time you was in a relationship?
Last time I was in a relationship was last year.
What happened to that relationship?
We split apart. We didn't see eye to eye.
What specifically did you guys not see eye to eye on?
It's that I've been with this person for over 3 years, and when my mental started declining, that's when he couldn't help me anymore. He couldn't
Help you what, financially, or help you just in
help
what
me
way?
mentally.
Okay.
He couldn't help me mentally anymore. And I left to go to New York.
Why'd you leave to go to New York?
To see my mother's side of the family.
Okay, so you went to go see family, and what happened?
Then it was more funerals I had to go to when I was up there.
Right. And so, but how did that contribute to the destruction of the relationship?
It's just that we wasn't seeing eye to eye no more. He wants something else, and I
What
want
did he
something
want?
else. He wanted to get married, and I told him no. And
Why didn't you want to get married?
it's because of the age difference.
How old was he?
In his 50s.
Okay, so y'all hear her former boyfriend was in his 50s and she's 31. So she doesn't want to marry him. So they broke up. Now, for some strange reason, the Manosphere is convinced that women are just so obsessed with old ass men. I don't know who told them that, but no, women are not obsessed with old ass men. I think most of the marriages today, there are not huge age gaps if you look at the data. Quote me if I'm wrong. I know y'all will. Y'all good at doing that. So, but I do believe that the age gaps are not as wide today in marriages. So, I mean, a lot of men, you're just not looking that good at 50 something. Like, come on now. They talk about women hitting the wall. These men hitting the wall and hard, hairline long. I mean, no shade, but the way these men come from women, like women are the only ones that age. They say, well, we have money, so it don't matter how we look. Yes, it does. Who wants to look at a gargoyle or Shrek every day for the rest of their life? I'm not saying that her ex was like that, but perhaps, I don't know if it was a relationship of convenience. Maybe she really cared for him. She just didn't want to marry him. And I noticed another thing too. The Manosphere is upset with women that are not getting married in their 20s, when even Caucasian are not getting married in their 20s like that. There's data to support it, and it's not this big conspiracy. It's just the way our world works. These men love to blame black women, say black women that are in it, millennial women, like in my age range. We are feminists. We follow the feminist movement. I don't even know, we weren't born when all this was going on. Like, they blame us for all these things. They just want these women to want to be with them, and like, you can't bully someone into being with you, and then you're making fun of people's hardship. So you're not a really caring or kind person. So who's gonna want to be with a man that's not kind and caring? And another thing, I'm curious, she says when her mental state started declining because of her depression, because of all the loss that she has experienced. I wonder, did he just now want to support her through that? You know what I'm saying? Did he just feel like, oh man, she down bad, I don't really want to be with her because she depressed? Because there's some people that don't mind kicking you while you're down. I wonder, is that the case, or was it that her mental health was just causing her, I could see it not causing her to show up her best in a relationship, but if you care about each other, we know that life isn't perfect, so we're all going to have some bad days. You're just going to dip out. I'm just kind of wondering, these Atlanta street interview people, they are asked some very invasive questions. To me, it seems like she really doesn't want to go into all her business, and rightfully so. And I'm wondering, do they compensate these people you interview and you got this camera all in their face? I hope you're giving them some money or something, because you all up in over business.
Was he financially stable?
Yeah. It's just that certain, like, I could call him right now and we could have a good conversation. Just, he wanted something else and I wanted something else, and I wish him for peace.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If on the off chance that he were to see this video, do you think that he would want you to have been homeless for the last month? Does he know that you're homeless?
No, I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him ever since December.
And so if he saw this video, do you think that he would want to come and get you up off the street?
Probably so.
Have you ever considered maybe calling him?
No.
Why not?
It's because, you know what? I know it's hard to talk about it, but I'm going to just say it anyway. It's because that I didn't tell him that I lost my job. I didn't tell him that the little apartment that I had, I lost it. I just don't want him to see me as a failure. So it's more of a pride thing than anything. I'm just
Okay, so she says she's prideful, she's embarrassed because of her situation. So, okay, so let's analyze this. She was dating a man in his 50s. She had her own place. She's 31. So it seems like he wasn't helping her financially then, because she said, that's my thoughts, he probably wasn't really helping her like that. Not saying that he should. Before y'all even try to comfort me, don't even do it. I'm not saying that he should. However, it doesn't seem like that was the case. And who's to say this man wasn't abusive? Y'all see her eye? What's that on her eye? It looks like a cut or something. Who's to say this man was not mistreating her? Because why would you not go back to someone that, y'all loved each other for 3 years, things were good. So why wouldn't you go back there unless there's some serious problems where, you just kind of figuring things out on your own? It's better than being with him. So I'm curious to know what y'all think about this scenario. I'm thinking, oh boy, is not this great high value man, as they would like to say, that these men are just so innocent and just really quote unquote good men, and they don't do any harm, they're innocent, and that women just destroy their lives. But let's continue.
I'm just being very,
so straight up fried.
Yeah.
Was the relationship good besides?
Yes.
Okay.
He would, every Friday, I used to do something so cute. Every Friday, I would do date night, and I would surprise him when he gets off work, and I have candles everywhere, a glass of wine for him and me, and then I'll make his favorite plate, which is ribs, barbecue ribs.
I got you. So let me ask you this. I see you got like a little thing here on your eye. Did you get into a fight recently, or did something happen?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Who was it? Who did you get into a fight with?
It was, I'm walking out of Chevron, and it's a barbecue down the street going on at my family spot, and all they did was, hey, go grab us more beer. They gave me the money. Go grab us more beer and get some cigarettes. I said, all right, cool. And then, all because I didn't want to give the crackhead a dollar, he hit me in my face.
When did that happen?
That happened back in October.
Oh, you still got the mark from it?
Actually, whatever ring that he had on.
Oh, he had a ring on, so
Yeah.
it left a pretty decent mark.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah, that mark looks like it's raised. Like, I wondered if she get stitches for it. But she's saying they had nice date nights. Yeah, I'm wondering. That is interesting that she didn't want to go back to him. I'm like, maybe she said she's so, and there's not that much pride. Well, I'll say this. I think she mentioned that she had her father in her life. But I think a lot of these issues too, because a lot of women grow up seeing their mothers do everything alone. A lot of these women are facing early demises because they don't have support, or at least they don't know how to ask for the support that they need. So I'm just wondering, is that maybe her feeling like she has to do everything by herself, that she has to be like this strong person that doesn't need anybody, because we all need people, we all need friends and family, we need a community, whoever that community is for us. So that's interesting. I mean, the way I look at her, I'm like, this guy must be horrible. And then when I hear her, she makes it sound like he's not horrible. So I don't know if she's lying. You never know. Because, again, we know she has, depression is not like, she's depressed. That doesn't make her a liar. But I'm just trying to analyze her situation. So I'm kind of leaning toward old boy. Either it really don't exist or he wasn't really that great. But let's continue. We're almost done here.
Well, listen, what are you doing right now are you doing anything to actively kind of get yourself off the street?
Actually, right now, I've been trying to look for a job without an ID, which is hard. Which is really hard.
Okay. Listen, if anyone wanted to reach out or help out or donate, do you have a Cash App or anything like that? People could help you out?
I got my Cash App card in my wallet.
What's your Cash App? Shout it out.
It's MySherrod90.
$sign in front?
Yes.
And spell that out?
MySherrod90.
All right. Well, Miss, we definitely want nothing but the best for you. And we wish you the best out here, all right?
This is only temporary, you guys. Only temporary.
Hey.
Okay, so that was her interview. I definitely wish her well. It's really not safe to be homeless anywhere, but I know in DC, New York, there was this guy. They caught him he was going around taking the lives of homeless people. Just ridiculous. It's not safe to be on the streets for anyone. As we see, she got a cut on her face, so it's not safe. There's a lot of unstable people out there. I wish her the best. Y'all heard the cash out if y'all want to send some monetary support her way. But all in all, like I said, I really did this because I just don't like how the Manosphere is using these street interviews to just spew their hateful talking points. And I'm going to insert screenshots. So we're going to have a few minutes of screenshots, but we can just kind of talk about what we think about these comments, because these guys, they just have no chill. They really don't stop. And it's sad. Like I said, I know, like, I have a family member. He's elderly now, so I think the city put him in a home for older people. But he has spent time in a shelter. He has substance abuse problems, so a lot of times it's people who have issues. But you know, to me, she's a beautiful woman. She just has some things she needs to overcome. Maybe work on her mindset and her coping skills. So hopefully she gets therapy and the help that she needs. But let me know, what do y'all think of the Manosphere using homeless women? Making fun. I'm laughing because it's just so ridiculous to me. They're making fun of homeless women, saying, yeah, Godfather said they're going to be homeless because they don't have a man, they're not married. And y'all know he likes to tell women, well, will you have 1 point some million when you retire? Like, did your damn mama have that? A lot of people don't have that, but they still are okay. He has this ridiculous, like, asking women, do your husband need to make 300,000? Most people don't even make 60,000 in this country. Just stupid. It's ridiculous. But that's it for now. We're going to just vibe on out with the screenshots. We're going to discuss the screenshots. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Until the next one. Later, y'all. Appreciate